Alright, what's up YouTube? This is Finns from Team Gins, and I'm here with my zombie deck profile. This is my baby, basically. I've put the most time into this. I've been playing it with for the longest. These are some of my oldest cards that I bought, and here we go. Alright, first, a staple for any zombie deck, we got one Mizuki. He's at 1, he's limited, but, he's pretty damn good. And, I heard rumors that he was getting that push to 2 with the new ban list, but sadly he's still at 1. He's 4 stars, 1700 attack, and you can remove from play from the graveyard to special summon any zombie that's in your graveyard, even your higher level ones. So that could be pretty good, especially if you do Foolish Burial, get something in your graveyard that you want to special summon. So that's Mizuki. Next, we got Plague Spreader Zombie, one of Yu-Gi-Oh's most popular tuners. He's basically a staple tuner for any zombie deck, because all the zombie synchros they really need, they can't be summoned without Plague Spreader Zombie, and you basically get 2 summons out of him because of his effect. Next, we got Illblood, probably one of my favorite zombies. He's a Gemini monster, which he's alright, but his effect really is worth it, because once per turn you can special summon a zombie either from your graveyard or your hand. The only downside is, when he's destroyed, all the zombies special summoned that way are destroyed, but he's got 2100 attack, and if you have Solidarity on the field, that's, what is that, 29? Yeah. So, that's, so he's alright, that's why I only run 1. Next, probably my favorite zombie, Bone Crusher. He's probably my favorite because I love his effect. He's only 4 stars, 1600, but his effect is awesome. Basically, more or less, he is a continuous MST. You can keep bringing him back with Zombie World, with Zombie Master, or or one of your other zombie cards that can reborn stuff. And every time he's special summoned, you can destroy either a magic or trap card on the field. So he's basically a continuous MST. And at the end of every battle, at the end phase of every turn after he's been special summoned, he's destroyed. So you can bring him back again next turn. So he's pretty awesome. All right, next, Gorz. He's not a zombie. He's one of the only cards that I run that's not a zombie. But personally, he's a dark deck staple. A lot of zombies don't have a lot of attack, so you can easily special summon Gorz, so he's good for attack, and he's a dark monster, so the deck for the most part is a dark deck, so he's good to have. Alright, next we got Red Eyes Zombie Dragon. A lot of people don't run Red Eyes, but I run one. He's a hell of a lot easier to get out than the regular Red Eyes, because if he can be tributed by using 1 zombie, and not to mention, his effect is pretty awesome if Zombie World's on the field. If he destroys another monster, it doesn't go to the graveyard, it goes to your side of the field. So that can be pretty beast for filling up your side of the field, swarming stuff. So I do run 1, not too many people run a lot, but 1 is alright, I think. Spirit Reaper, he's a great wall, and he's a zombie. I don't usually use his other effect of causing battle damage and discarding from your opponent's hand, but he's still a great wall. He's a good defense, and you can bring him back easily with Zombie Master or anything like that. So, next, I run 3 Zombie Master. 4 stars, 1800 attack. That right there is pretty good, actually, but his effect is that you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard and special summon a level 4 or lower zombie. It's great if you've got 2 Zombie Masters on the field, then you can fill up your field pretty quickly. Zombies swarm. Zombie Master can also, if you have Zombie World on the field, special summon a zombie from your opponent's graveyard. So that's just more fun, basically. I still run 1 Vampire Lord. I used to run 2 because I used Genesis, but recently I took him out for some of the more staple cards. But I still like having Vampire Lord. He's pretty easy to get out with Pyramid Turtle. And I do like his effect still, but he's probably leaving soon. Right, next, I've got 3 Pyramid Turtle. Honestly, I think this is probably the most important card in the deck. When they're destroyed by battle, they can special summon a monster from your deck with the zombie from your deck with 2,000 or less defense. The great thing about that is almost every zombie has 2,000 or less defense. Even the heavy hitters like Red Eyes or Ryukogi, they all have 2,000 or less defense. So basically, you can use Pyramid Turtle to summon anything from your deck. Alright, now, A lot of people run 3, but I run 2 Goblin Zombie. It's kind of like Pyramid Turtle, except it goes to your hand and not to the field. At the same time, he's got that other effect where he can, if he does battle damage, then you could mill the top card of your opponent's deck, which is pretty good. But a lot of people run 3, I only run 2. Next up is another card that a lot of people don't run, but I personally love, Paladin of the Cursed Dragon. 4 stars, 1900 attack, that right there is pretty impressive. But if you have Zombie World on the field, this guy can be a real beast, because once per turn, without discarding anything, or attacking anything, or causing any battle damage, or anything, you can special summon a zombie, a level 4 or lower zombie from your opponent's graveyard. So that's pretty awesome, and I only run 1, but, I think he's really good to have in a zombie deck. Alright, next, Ryokoki. Basically, I've had him in my deck since day 1. If he attacks a warrior or a spellcaster, they're done at the end of the damage step. Even if they have more attack points, he's easy to get out because he has 2,000 defense. So you can summon him with the Pyramid Turtle. Overall, really good. And finally, we have somebody that I'm just kind of testing right now. It's Getsufuma. A lot of people use her. If you have Zombie World and her on the field, she can basically destroy anything. You still take damage, but it's good to have if really need to get something off the field and you have a little extra life points to spare. So it's good to have. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Next we're going to do spells. Alright, first I run 2 Zombie Worlds. I would like a third. I'm either going to put in a third or an Immortal Ruler. I don't know which one yet, but Zombie World is an awesome card, especially for zombie decks, because basically it turns the whole world into a zombie playing field into like a zombie free-for-all. All monsters on the field become zombies, and everything in your opponent's graveyard and your graveyard becomes zombies. There's a lot of great combos you can do with this. So overall, pretty awesome card. Next up, I have 2 Call the Mummy. I maybe might cut that down to 1 because a lot of my zombie cards are easy to get out. Red Eyes, Ryokoki, Ill Blood can all be special summoned with Pyramid Turtles. But Call the Mummy is good to have still because you can summon stuff from your hand very easily, higher level stuff. So it's good to have, definitely. Then I run 2 Book of Life. I really need a third one. Book of Life is such an awesome card. Basically, special summon a zombie from your graveyard, and then as an added bonus, you remove something from your opponent's graveyard. So it's definitely a zombie staple. Alright, next we have Ever-Living Underworld Cannon. A lot of people don't run this, but I think it's a great burn card, and it's really fun to use. Zombies come back a lot. They get special summoned a lot. So, basically, as long as Ever-Living Underworld Cannon is on the field, every time a zombie is special summoned, you do 800 points of damage to your opponent. So, that could really cause some big damage over time, because zombies do come back a lot. Next up, we've got Solidarity. I was thinking at first that Gorz was going to kind of mess this up, but if you have Zombie World on the field, then everything in your graveyard is treated as a zombie. Therefore, Solidarity is perfectly good and useful, and God, I love that picture because I love Ojamas. Next up, Magical Stone Excavation. It's a good card to have in this deck because Zombie World really is the key, and the deck really doesn't run very well without it, so it's easy to get that back if it's destroyed. And it's just, if you don't need it back, you can get Book of Life back, Ever-Living Underworld Cannon, you can get anything back, any of your magic cards back, so good to have. And then we've got staples, Pot of Avarice, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Book of Life, Mystical Space Typhoon, Mystical Space Typhoon, and Swords of Revealing Light. Welcome back, Heavy Storm. Finally, we got the traps. Alright, first off, I run 2 Teuton Masks. I was thinking at first to start running Dark Illusions, but the sad point is that a lot of my zombies are Earth as well. Some of the better ones like Mizuki and Bone Crusher, so Teuton Mask is really perfect. If I have Zombie World on the field, I could use it to negate anything that targets one thing. So they're really probably, for this deck, they're a lot better than Dark Illusions. Next, Trap of the Imperial Tomb. Personally, I think this card is awesome. It really is. If you use this card with either Paladin of the Cursed Dragon or Zombie Master, honestly, you can do a lot of damage to your opponent and knock out some of his best cards. And then finally we got the trap staples, Call the Haunted, Sakuretsu Armor, Bottomless, and Mirror Force. And finally, I do have a very small extra deck, which consists right now of Revived King Hades and the awesome Doomkaiser Dragon. I was originally going to get Arcfiend Zombie Skull, but personally, I think it's too hard to get out. So for now, keeping it at this, and that's it, guys.